Squarespace Tutorial 2023 Create a Professional Website for Beginners Complete Guide. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing great and are having an amazing and incredible day. I bring you back with yet another great video, and in this video we're going to be discussing on how you can use Squarespace to basically make yourself one of the most professional and best looking websites out there. So basically, without further ado, let's just get straight into it because you're going to be provided a complete guide on everything you need to know to get started. So before we dive into the tutorial, let's take a quick look at the website that we'll be building. Here's a sneak peek of what we'll be creating, and you can find the link to this website down below in the description if you want it. So first things first, let's start by setting up our Squarespace account. So to do that, we're going to click on Get Started. Okay. Now, once you click on Get Started, over here, it's going to basically ask you a template. So I'll walk you through the setup process and you'll see just how easy it is to get started with Squarespace. So once you obviously went on Get Started, here it's going to ask you to choose a template. So obviously we know that Squarespace offers a wide range of templates that you can choose from. So I'm going to be showing you how to select the right template for your website. So obviously, it all depends on whatever type of website you're making. Now, if it's like, an e-commerce store, you're going to choose more of a, store look like, Hester. You have Hester over here. You have Alameda over here. You even have Bergen, Baylard. You have great templates, okay? But then if it's a blog, you can use templates like Stanton, Lusaka, you have Kalima. It all depends on whatever type of website you're building. Now, obviously, we're going to be building, or I'm going to be building an online store for myself. So in that case, I'm going to be using Alameda. So first of all, what you can do is you're going to go on preview. You're going to preview your template. You're going to see if it's actually good, if it's actually, looking decent. So because I don't want to just go ahead and start with it, even if I don't like it. So once you've seen this, you can also view the demo of the site, but this should be enough. So I like this. I like what I'm seeing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Start with Design. So again, once you've chosen your template, basically, I'm also going to show you, as I am, how to use the editor menu to customize your website. So obviously, before getting into that, it's going to ask us to create our account. So I'm going to go and continue with email. Now, what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be using a temp mail for my account. But if you're like doing this for the long run and you're like going to make more websites for like trial purposes, you can use a temp mail. But if you're doing this for the long run, please trust me, you're going to need to use a main email because a temp mail, as it says, is a temp mail. You can pretty easily lose it. So I'm going to add a temp mail for now. Here we have it. I'm going to set up a good strong password for myself. And yeah, there we go. Now, once we've done that, I'm going to click on continue. Okay. And once I've clicked on continue, here it says setting things up. Now, once it sets things up for you, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to the editor menu. So I'm just going to wait for it to bring me to that. And here we are. Welcome to your site. Creating a beautiful site is the best way to bring your idea to life. Here are a few things to get you started. What would you like to call your site? Obviously, you're going to name it. I'm going to call it John's E-Store. I'm just going to call it that. I'm going to click on continue. To add, edit, and remove text or images and to customize a page, use edit. You can customize every section on a page. Create pages. Add and remove pages in the pages panel. When you're done, organize them to create a navigation menu that helps your users explore your site. And then finally, style your site. Use the Site Styles icon to control your site's unique look and feel. You can customize your site by picking designer fonts and color themes. So we're just going to click on Get Started. Now, here we are, okay? Now, once we're over here, what we're going to do is, obviously, here's the whole editor menu that you can see in front of you. So this is obviously, the pages section. I'm going to close that. This is the pages section, the design, commerce, marketing, stuff like that. So we're going to be learning all of that. You're going to learn how to use different sections and blocks, such as, your text, images, and button blocks to create the perfect website for your needs. And I'm also going to show you how to customize the background as well as the header and footer of your website. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to go click on edit. Okay. Now, once you click on the edit section, we're just going to wait for it to load up real quick. And here we are. So introducing Fluid Engine, our newest drag and drop editor. So obviously that's what we're going to be working around with. I'm going to wait for it to, give me the whole guide and tutorial. It takes a few seconds to tell you about everything. And once it does, that is where the whole magic starts. So we're just gonna wait for it to, do the whole configuration process. Takes like a few seconds. If it like gets stuck at some point, you can always just reload the page. And once you reload the page, it's gonna be dandy. You're gonna head back into the website pretty quickly and pretty easily. So here you are. Now, first of all, let's go to the pages section. Okay. Now in the pages section, obviously, this is where you're gonna add pages and you're gonna mess around with the navigations. So obviously, we're going to keep that stuff for later. Right now, come in design. And once you're in design, first of all, we're going to mess around with the site styles. So once you go to the site styles, you're going to basically get fonts, colors, animations, spacing, buttons, and image blocks. Okay. Now, first of all, we're going to go to fonts. And once you're into fonts, what's going to happen from here is you can change your fonts accordingly to whatever, aspect you like. So you have, your basic eStore fonts over here. You can change it to, different global text styles. Like you can set the heading font to, let's say I'm going to change it from Acumen Pro. Okay. I don't really like the Acumen Pro. I'm going to change it to Poppins. So once we change it to Poppins, let's see how it looks. And yeah, as we can see, that font changed on the left side. So pretty good, pretty nice font. I'm going to keep it like that. You can also like mess around with the weight, which is going to be, its size, how big and overpowering it's going to be on your page. So once you have set that up, you're going to go back. And once you go back here, you're going to basically add the different buttons if you want to. Now, again, the button section is also pretty like small and abstract, not a lot going on over there. So just choose a good button if you have any, of course. So as you can see, I have a button over here. So what you can do is you can assign different styles to it, assign different fields and footnotes to it. And once you're done with all that, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it when it comes to fonts. Now, obviously, once you've messed around with your text, fonts, stuff like that, from here on out, what you're going to do is we're going to learn how to, add blocks and all that stuff. So for that, obviously, you're going to first of all choose a section. So I'm going to go and edit site header. Now, once you go in header, I'm going to go and set title and logo. So I'm going to call this, again, John's eStore. Choose a good logo for your website. So I'm going to choose this logo. It's a pretty random logo, but you get the point. So I'm going to add that. And we're just going to wait for that to load up real quick. It like takes a few seconds to obviously optimize everything. And there you go. There's your website logo. You can choose the logo's, settings if you want to. So I'm going to like increase its height a bit, make it a bit bigger, make it prominent that, okay, this is the logo. Now, once you've set the title and logo, what you're going to do is go in Elements. So I'm going to click on button. And as you can see, you got the Get Started button. And what this is going to do is it's going to take people to, let's say, some type of sign up page where they can get started. As you saw in the start of the Squarespace tutorial, they gave us a good sign up page that once we clicked on, we were redirected to the whole sign up process and the whole widget of that. So you get the point. This is also a pretty good tool to have in your arsenal to, have good buttons and different blocks of buttons. And then you have your social links where you can edit social links, add different social icon sizes, and much more. Then you have the borders, okay? Let's say you want to add different borders around your social icons. So in my opinion, squares would look great, or without borders, totally dependent on you. I'm going to keep it without borders. You can also give different multilingual languages to your site if you want to. Then there's the card icon. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure turn on the card icon. There we go. There's the card. Once you turn it on, you can choose to keep the cart in a box too if you want to. I'm gonna keep it in a box. It just looks better in my opinion. And once you're doing that, we're gonna go back. Now once you're here, you're gonna go on style. Now in the style section, basically you have different styles. So you can like give your page a good gradient style. You can mess with the opacity if you want to. Let's choose a good background color first of all. So I'm gonna go on custom, and it's a pretty formal looking page, so I'm gonna use a pretty formal color. Let's go with navy blue. Okay, let's go with a good dark navy blue. And once we have done with that, again, go back on style, choose whatever type. So you can just set it as theme, or okay, you know what, let's set it as theme. Go on style, go back on style like this. Let's go with darkest, and once you're like that, yeah, I think that looks pretty decent. And then you can like give it a fixed position where you can give it a fixed header style and stuff like that if you want to. But yeah, that is basically how you're gonna basically, you could say, mess around with the different sections and widgets of your website. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the main page of my website. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go to the main page. I'm going to close that. Make sure you have a good desktop view of your site, and here's our main page. Now, let's say I want to obviously go and mess around with this section of my website. I've obviously messed around with like the header section. Okay, let's go to this section. Now, once you go to this section, again, you can manage different items. Click on manage items. Okay. Now, either you can manage items or you can like edit the section, specifically. So once you go and edit section, here you can add different column spacings. That's the space that your people are going to get between the columns that you're going to add for your products. You can also add row spacing. So as you can see, you can add more space, add less space. I'd say add less space because you don't need a lot of row spacing in like an outlay or an overview like this. Now once you've done that, you can also keep a good aspect ratio if you want. Okay, that's also a good way to leave a good look for your website. You can also leave breadcrumbs if you want to. Totally depends on you. Totally depends on whatever style you're looking for. Then there's obviously the different insets and full widths that you want, or I'm gonna go with full. I'm just gonna keep it full. Inset looks weird. I'm gonna keep it full. Go on colors, and you can choose like different colors for this too. So as we can see, I'm gonna go with colors, and I'm gonna go on like the darkest. And as you can see, it's gonna look somewhat like that. So as we can see, it doesn't really match, does it? It doesn't really look good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go with lightest one. And once you go with lightest one, obviously accordingly, it's gonna do that. So yeah, I pretty much like that. I like what feel that gives to my page. I like what vibe, what aesthetic that gives to my page. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So yeah, that is basically how you're gonna mess around with the background of your page and how you're gonna mess around with the text, the colors, the different blocks that come with your page, and more stuff like that. Now, obviously, there's the header and footer option where we've discussed that as well. If we click on the header of your page, there you go. Once we clicked on the header, you got all these buttons and navigation system. Then there's obviously the footer. If you click on edit footer, we're going to go on edit section. And you can see the row count. You can set a different background to that if you want to, set different colors if you want to. So that is how you're going to mess with the header footer settings. And obviously then you have your navigation system, and obviously the navigation system can only be messed around with like the main website settings. So for that, what you're going to do is obviously we're going to go ahead, we're going to back out of this section. So to back out of this section, we're going to go on site styles over here. And once you go on site styles, what you're going to do is obviously you're going to find the navigation system over here. And once you go to the navigation system, set a good navigation for yourself. Okay. Now, once you've done all that, next we should talk about pages. Squarespace makes it pretty easy to create different pages for your website, and I'll show you just how to do that. You'll also learn how to design your pages to make them visually appealing. Now, the designing aspect is pretty simple. As you saw, just a normal drag and drop. Not a lot to take in over there. But to obviously create a new page, what you're going to do is, let's say I'm going to click here. Okay. Now, once you click over here, you can also like go to quick tips if you want to. And let's say you want to create a new page. So for that, you know what? Let's go and save this. Save your website. And once you have obviously saved your website, what you're going to do is either you can duplicate it, go to a new section if you want to, or just create a new website by clicking on add new block. So that is, the main aspect of how you're going to add everything. Now over here, as you can see, this is the design aspect. Let's go back and you're going to come on pages. Now, once you're on pages, to create a page, obviously here's the navigation bit. You can set the navigation bit to whatever you like. Like, let's say I'm going to put the lookbook up here. You're going to see these both are going to switch. And look at that, lookbook and shop just switched. So I'm going to do that back, and I'm going to go on main navigation, and I'm going to click on this plus sign over here. And you can either add a blank page if you want to. You can add a proper page layout if you want to, which is a designer layout. Or you can add a booking or appointment page. So what I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to go ahead and add a page layout for myself. And once we've done that, let's go ahead and choose a good page for ourselves. Okay. So a good page for this setting, because obviously we have a website for ourselves, we're going to go in general, and see a good layout. Let's go with a decent layout. I'm gonna go with this. So once we've done that, here we go. We've added ourselves another page, and you can call this page products or something like that, you know. So here we have it. Here we have our other page. And to edit this, we're obviously going to go ahead to this page. So you know what? I'm gonna go back, head into this, go on settings, and then, you know, start the editing aspect of this whole page. You can also mess around with the SEO, by the way, if you want to. Every page has its separate SEO. If you don't know what SEO is, SEO is your search engine optimization. So yeah, that is one of the most important things that you have to, you know, take into consideration and talk about once you're creating a website using Squarespace. Okay, now once we've all, you know, discussed about that aspect, let's go ahead and edit this part of our site. So obviously we're going to come here. First of all, here's your section. We're going to go in edit section. Now once you go in edit section, first of all, here's your background. You can add an image to your background. Let's go ahead and upload some random file. Let's go in this. This is like a Starry Night image that I picked off of Google. It's a pretty high definition image. Looks pretty nice. Looks pretty decent. Looks like a good and well image. So I'm going to add that. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for it to load up. And here we are. Okay. Now, once this image loads up, we're just going to wait for it to fully, and there we go. You can also like add a video or a piece of art in the background, by the way, if you want to. Totally depends on you. You can also mess around with the image effects. You can change it from liquid to some other size if you want to. You also have your overlay opacity. You can make it less opaque if you want to. And then you obviously have your text. Like, let's say, obviously, we can see that the text isn't really working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and edit text, and I'm going to give my text a background. And once you give your text a background, you can choose the color you want to give it. So I'm going to choose the text. I'm going to make it all bold, or you can make it less bold if you want to. Go on text color, and let's make it white. And what you're going to do is you can remove the background now. Okay, there you go. And once we've done that, look at that. That makes your text look much more better. Makes it look much more standoutish, if that makes sense. And again, I'm going to go back on edit section. I'm going to go back on my background. Okay. Now, once I'm in my background, you can again give your overlay a strong standout if you want to. There we go. Now, once you do that, over here you have different sections that you can again add an image if you want to. Again, go on edit sections. You can also give it like a solid color if you want to, or again, just go ahead and let's add a video for ourselves. So I'm going to go and upload file. Let's go with a custom video that I downloaded for myself. Just go with anything random. And like, let's go with a video of, you know, a custom video of some, you know, poor people, you know, refugees, something like that. Let's add something like that in our website to, you know, give it some diversity. So once you've added the video and loaded it up, what it's going to do is it's going to play the video in the background. Which is a pretty cool thing to have in your arsenal. So once you've obviously added that stuff into your page and, you know, added that stuff into your design, from there on out, what you can do more is just add more photos, add more texts if you want to, and just make your page, you know, stand out more. And then you can also add more pages if you want to. Totally depends on whatever type of website you're approaching. Now, once we've discussed that, let's discuss mobile optimization. So mobile optimization is extremely crucial for any website in 2023. I'll show you how to optimize your website for mobile devices as well so that it looks great on any screen size. So what you're going to do is you're going to switch from desktop view to mobile view. Okay. Now, once you do that over here, you're going to basically make it look good for the mobile sections as well. So to do that, you're obviously going to make sure that the texts are much more, you know, compact, not too conjoined. And obviously you can see the logo over here in the mobile side. It's pretty small. What you can do is you can increase the size, make the logo a bit bigger, you know, make it a bit visible because like it's literally non-existent right now, as you can see. So make the logo a bit bigger, mobile logo, increase the height. There we go. And I'm going to decrease the height of this one. And there we go. Now, once you have done that, obviously we're going to go ahead and head back. Here, you're going to go in elements. Once you go in elements, you can add socials if you want to. Again, totally depend upon you. And just mess around with more different styles that you can find about your website. Then obviously you have all of this. Again, make it less compact, as I told you. Make it, you know, much better than it can look, okay? So edit the sections again according to whatever you want, optimize it accordingly. And once you have done all that, and only once you have done all that, you are going to be good with your mobile optimization. Obviously, as we know, mobile optimization matters a lot because in the year 2023, people, more than their desktop or laptop, people use their mobile phones. And the phones right now are so advanced that like it makes sense at this point. So now that you've built your website, it's time to talk about the different plans and pricings, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on save, okay? Now, once I save my website, what I'm going to do from here is you can like obviously either go on your commerce or your marketing and, talk about different commerce settings there for yourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. Obviously, you have the whole commerce aspect. You have the whole marketing setting aspect if there is. And yeah, basically that's all there is. I have like set it up the website and everything. Now, again, as I've made my website, let's go ahead and discuss the plans and pricings. So to discuss the plans and pricings, what you can do is you can either go on settings or, you can see the different plans that come up with, the whole Squarespace. So what you can do is you can just write on your web browser, Squarespace plans. Okay, here we are. Here we go, all pricing plans on Squarespace. Now, basically, Squarespace offers various plans to fit your needs and budget. And I'm going to show you the differences between them. It's like pretty, prominent differences that you can see between it like has 3 to 4 different plans. And yeah, 4 different plans. So you can either pay yearly or monthly. There's the personal plan, the business plan, the commerce, and the commerce advanced plan. The personal plan is like $16 per month, which is like nothing. Business plan is $23, which is again nothing. Commerce and commerce basic and commerce advanced are like a bit hefty with $27 and $49 per month. But do know this, that if you're like making a basic website, you can go with personal or business. But if you want a website where you can like do transactions and stuff, you're going to have to go with Commerce Basic or Commerce Advanced. Without these, you can't make an e-commerce website for yourself. So please do make sure to do that. But do know this, that in every site, you're going to get mobile optimized websites, templates to fit every need, and free custom domain. But obviously, accordingly, after that, you're going to get the features as the price goes up. So you get the point. And also, there's domains, and let's talk about the domains and how to choose the right ones for your website. I'm going to show you how to purchase a domain through Squarespace and how to set it up for your website. So you're going to go here, okay? You're going to go on settings. You're going to go in domains. So you can either use a domain you own, okay? Now, if you have a domain you own, you can just click on it and set it up for your Squarespace website. Pretty easy stuff. Or you can get a domain customly by Squarespace. Although they do give you a free domain, but it's not the most attractive domain, let's be honest. So you can like search for a domain. It's going to give you all these names. And from here on out, just click on it, add it to your website. And yeah, basically that is how you're going to set, good domains for yourself. Pretty good stuff to have by your side. And yeah. So once you've done all that, lastly, let's talk about the browser icon, which is the icon that appears in the browser tab when someone visits your website. So let me show you how to customize it, okay? Now, the browser icon initially comes when you have the paid plan. It doesn't like come right away, just like this. And once you have the browser icon, on your side and you have a paid plan, just make, one of the best browser icons. As you can see, this icon over here, that's going to be your browser icon. So make sure to have a good look on that, and then make sure to keep on checking the marketing where you can see the email campaigns and different profiles to, just make your website more approached, more, well-known, you could say. And you can also make your SEO better, which is also a pretty good thing to have in your arsenal, a pretty good thing to have by your side when you're doing good website building. But yeah, that's basically about it. That is how you can create a very professional website without using any coding using Squarespace Website Builder. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, drop down a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, until then, I hope you all keep having a great day. That was all from me, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.